to look at the pictures and the squiggles. He presumes are words. He doesn't know.
Some sort of sorcery.
Yeah.
What sorcery are these books?
It could be
exactly.
verbosity.
These things.
Karen blood sorcerers.
fucking bullshit magicians.
They have pictures of people who are dead for a long time.
Horrid.
Can't believe this shit.
Capture their souls in
Who the fuck even does this?
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Maester has actually put Aaron near the only window that's sort of shining on him. Well, Aaron Caladan looks completely still, just frozen. When Decim looks in, which he probably does, he will see that he hasn't really he's been moved, but he hasn't his hands are folded in the same way. Mm-hmm. The only difference perhaps is that his face is even more gaunt.
Yep, won't be long now.
Well, I suppose Linus will then, carry Bree up. Yeah, so he managed to pull it off with Rosette before, and so it shouldn't be too bad with Bree.
Probably close to 80 kilograms, I imagine, given how much strength and bonus dice she has in her size.
80, huh? Wow.
Yeah, muscle is a lot of weight.
It sure is.
No, but he can.
80. You can make a 9.
Yeah, I can make a 9.
Maybe a 12 would probably be more.
You can have a guy help you.
Yeah. Lanus is really concerned about Bree's health right now.
As Decim goes to his raven roost, basically, he will find a small letter tucked into his work desk, so discreetly, almost as if someone dropped it behind it. It's a little stuck there.
All right. Well, Decim, who is in a foul mood, will pick up the letter and he will read it as he sort of prepares to sit down to. And then he will sit there for a little bit, reading that letter a few times.
Eva looks, just squints her eyes at Cole. He's like,
Cole looks tired.
maybe you should take care of the nobles first.
Still sort of pats her hair slightly and says, I will take care of all of you.
I'm not a kid.
Bree's tossed into bed. Sorry, Maester. Really thought I would be gone longer this time.
Dodson says,
I thought I would never go here again.
do not worry. Just rest. As he goes to fetch some vials for you to drink.
Nima's not gonna close her eyes.
No.
Maybe it's because he's haunted. Maybe not. Maybe it's the main reason, but also because he's fucking creepy.
Bree closes her eyes and says, I keep worrying you, Maester. Don't worry, though. Eventually I'll get better at this.
He takes a big jar full of little black squiggling things. A long sort of pair of prongs. What seems to be a washcloth and some sort of yellowed liquid. And then a few small vials that appears to have sort of perhaps milk of the poppy, as he puts them on a tray and begins to return.
Lanus will respect that Maester Cole normally likes to do this without other people around, and will just kind of ask him to make sure they get rest.
Hush now.
And Lanus will leave, going through the crack of the door.
He started by giving Alaric a double dose.
Of what?
Of the milk of the poppy,
He
because he
spits it
a
out.
lot.
It's no.
Does he?
He tries.
Let's see how well you can do your effort to spit it out.
I don't know. What role's that? Is that fighting? I'm fighting my way out of this.
It might be a willpower test.
Endurance. No. I don't want to.
You could try to resist it. Regardless,
No.
he's if you insist, he has other ways, but he prefers for you to drink it. It's the least intrusive. As he will remind you in a slow, light tone, says, there are many openings in the body. sir. I believe you prefer this one.
And with that,
As she gives you a slight smile.
Now you settle
Slight-
down here.
Slight knowing smile. You can see the big leather gloves on the. You know, things happen. She will give it to you. Just relax.
Oh,
I have you now. She's going. Lanus has left. He'll lock the door. Turn to give Nima and Bree.
Bree mumbles, "Sorry, Maester."
Hush. And perhaps the last thing you hear is like the prongs being plumped into the jar of leeches.
you hear what?
The thud as the prongs are put into the
Get the metal top,
leech jar
the leech jar.
to pull one out, perhaps.
Don't have to worry about those leeches dying.
No, they are well fed
They
in
are
this
well
house.
fed, yeah.
Nima will protest and say no leeches. No fucking leeches.
Probably just becomes a at this point.
She's so drugged, it's just...
Like her last fleeting thoughts are, "Why did I get back in the bed?"
Yeah.
He gives her a smile.
Love it.
He knows.
Don't do it. You're not gonna do experiments on me while I sleep.
Quiet. Just relax.
Shut up. It's gonna be a shut up.
I mean, he gives you that look on his token. Like,
Yep.
do you really think I would?
Me?
Yes.
Oh.
And that's all he really needs to do. Lanus just hears the door click as the lock is issued, and then he hears the perhaps slight sort of groans from in there. It's a very soundproof room, everything considered.
You know
By
that was on
design.
purpose because the council chamber's next door.
You know. And then probably he can leave, thinking that maybe he's glad he's not in there. You know, not being all
Most certainly. Though
thing.
I said in the little thing there. You know, he thanks the guards for their service, says he can go get some rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'll go and get some rest. Urgh. What is Decim doing? Having read the letter.
Decim will sit there for a little bit, and then he will get up. He will walk out and look around for a second, thinking that Lanus is probably down below somewhere. He's gonna head down, looking for Lanus.
Well, he's probably going to find him going towards the servants' quarters.
Kind of turns. Looks at Devon. All of them are in the mater's quarters now. Take care of them.
Follow me.
Okay. So goes and closes the door, locks it. Okay, this room also should be more soundproof than it is.
I assume we have sort of it soundproofed.
It's as
I mean,
soundproof
as
it can
much
be.
as it can get here.
It's stone
Someone,
walls.
like,
I mean.
sticks their face on the door.
Do you have to like cover with
some
like
stuff, but-
mattresses?
You know,
Like
if
an
both,
extra
both us,
thick door.
I imagine if both of us are really, really quiet, we can hear the groaning from the next room.
That defeats the very purpose of the soundproofing,
Yeah,
Darn.
like-
Why would you cut it off at the knees like that?
We don't hear, even if
with the stone walls.
even if they were screaming at the top of their lungs in horrible pain in there, we wouldn't hear
I mean,
a
then
thing.
you could
It's
probably hear
great.
the echoes.
Yeah,
You know,
Okay.
it won't, yeah, it's a faint little thing. It's like a breeze.
it's happened before.
Yeah, well, you know.
At least Alaric's not above you, ready to crash in at a moment's notice.
Where would you
Sorry.
fall? Oh, it would fall near the toilets. No. Oh no, I think he's being propped up by like the doorway in the Great Hall, so he should be good.
The keep has been built sturdy enough to have more than just one night.
We hope so.
Anyway,
And he'll sit down next to them with a a determined look. And clearly concerned.
So, how long has Lucas been in the family, so to speak, Malachi?
Since he was very young, his mother used to work in the village. Agatha needed some help, and she picked the boy because he seemed like a smart boy with a knack for like bread making, like baking.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty much as long as he's been around.
Yeah, it's a very long time.
Doesn't will
Good lad.
look at Linus and say, it is not really a secret in the castle that you and Lucas are good friends.
No, it's not. It's not a secret. I keep it professional when the other nobles are around.
Tell me more of this friendship you have with him.
Where's this coming from now?
Doesn't just looks at him. And then he says, do you trust him?
Yes, I trust him. You know, you should know. You should know where my trust comes from as well. You remember that day.
Doesn't nods slowly. And he has never given you any reason to doubt that?
Never. Though, still keep an eye on him, of course. He can be sometimes a little bit overly curious, but
Yes.
I can't say anything against your trust. Now, I'm sure you have a purpose behind this. You normally do.
Dasam picks up the small bundle of paper that he got and places it down on the table between them and says, I found this among my papers when I went up there to start writing the letters.
Amos looks at it. What is it?
Well, it seems to be kind of like a note written either very hastily or in very poor handwriting.
The handwriting of Lucas, most definitely. Linus would know, because he's actually tried to teach him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some of the words are misspelled and such, but it's a good try. His best yet.
Dennis would be suitably impressed if it wasn't for the fact that Desmond's doing it essentially from Inquisition. He's going to look at it. What's it say?
It says that the commander of the Dornish infantry in this keep is the one who betrayed us to the Vulturemen.
Let's pause this for a second. Consider.
As far as I have been able to determine with these Vulturemen, which is not much, but it is indeed them that were behind the attack. The letter continues. He sort of looks at it, allegedly. Ossian, was that his name? Sorry, I need to go and look at his token. Ollian.
Ollian Sand.
Ollian Sand does believe still that he serves House Ironwood, and well, he has been in their service for quite some time, really. Since he was a child, as far as I understand it. And he still feels he serves the house with this betrayal. according to what Lucas writes here, the ambush was indeed to kill us, and in particularly me, who I assume Olian views as very dangerous.
I couldn't imagine why.
Desmond looks at him, clearly thinking that this is not a time for quips.
But Lanus is clearly deep in thought. What are you considering here?
Maybe like at this very moment, like a very, very loud groan from the other room can like slightly echo through the door.
Call him in and put Desmond on his brain.
This
Get him to tell you anything.
This has not been going on for long, it seems, shortly after he arrived. So there are limits to what he has been able to divine, I am sure. But he has the run of the keep, especially with your darling wife as his benefactor.
He certainly does have the run of the keep. Would explain why Lucas seems so scared of it. I was going to question him on that, but it seems I might have just got my answer.
If this is true, and by the detailed account, I have no reason to disbelieve at this point, although I would wish to talk to him.
Wish to speak to Lucas?
Yes.
Gives an almost defensive look for a second, but then not. I will summon him.
Why do I have a feeling he's not gonna be there?
Make him bring us food or something. Some sort of reason for him to be in here with us and not being called to an official meeting. We don't want to raise suspicions.
Should be easy enough arranged. As Lanus will go do that. The service chamber's right there, in fact, just for this exact purpose, that we can just knock and, if we need something, so...
Can open the door and we'll see Lucas sitting sort of on his bed with his knees pulled up under him, just sort of sitting there, sort of hugging his knees, waiting, sort of a slightly pale, at least just waiting for something to happen.
Lanus kind of looks around to see if there's anyone else in the room. Is it just Lucas right now?
No, it's just Lucas. Most of the others have been sent by Agatha to do a lot of the housely business that she doesn't want to do because there's a baby.
Okay, yep, that's absolutely fine. Kind of looks around, almost,
He just looks up at Lanus.
Look. Lucas. Would you be able to please go fetch some bread and wine? We're gonna have it looks like there is a lot of issues that I'm going to discuss, both me and the Lady Venezia.
Yeah.
Can you bring him to the council chamber, please?
Looks as Lanus, slightly confused and with sort of a questioning look.
Just giving his normal warm smile.
Lying to Lucas' face. Could you give me a deceiving?
I mean, technically there is important business going on right now. And Desmond does need to speak to Lady Venezia as well. Both are true.
A deception bluff, I should think, would be.
Yes. Well.
Thing.
Well, we'll see how this goes because I'm taking a penalty on this.
How so?
Because Lanus really likes Lucas.
Thought it's not something he enjoys, maybe lying to his friends' faces.
No.
The problem is that you're friends with a peasant.
Yeah.
How improper!
I say as I look over at Tina's character.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
It is so improper to be friends with the commoners. Ugh.
Oh, he definitely knows what's going on, and Lanus can see it in his face
Just take
as he nods and begins to go to fetch
Pause
like
this for a sec- Can I pause this for a second?
wine and bread. He also looks a little bit hurt.
Kind of pauses.
Is that used that you lie to him?
Kind of pausing and seeing Lucas go, sighing slightly.
You say nothing as he leaves.
Kind of almost does a kind of a look of like he wants to say more for a second. Almost feels a little bit ashamed and guilty.
Keyword almost.
I mean, he probably does actually look. He's not deceptive, so himself, as just proved.
I can teach you.
We teach you to lie to those you care about. I believe Desmond's actually pretty good at that at this point.
That's pretty good lying.
At those
Not between dozen.
times.
Yeah, you just return to the room, or
Lance will take a second, consider. I think Lane's actually going to go downstairs to
okay,
a little bit.
sure. It was like fetching wine and some bread in the kitchen.
Can just wait around here for a bit.
Sure. He comes back up with like the tray. Just as he looks at you, bows his head slightly. Till he
Has a frowning look on his face. Clearly, yeah, it's a guilty look. He's not hiding it.
It's just nothing. She goes, knocks on the door. Not allowed just into the council room without knocking.
Lanus will just nod to him and indicate, yeah, go in.
Sure, he'll come in with he's very pale. She goes to place like the tray on the table, stand back and give Desmond a bow as he puts a cup over, fills it with wine, shakingly.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at the papers on the table.
Mm-hmm. Desmond is look at him, letting him stew for a bit. His face is impassive, looking at him, and when he has filled his cup, he will.
Lucas looks as the door clicks.
Yep.
Locked.
It's like a
yeah.
maester thing.
She looks back to Desmond, sort of almost like as if he's beginning to stammer something. He's very intimidated
I
right now.
was unaware that you could read and write, Lucas. She looks to Lena's.
Lanus just gives a nod of, you can say it.
I'm sorry, my lord. I just
Don't. There is no need for apologies there. I was the one who taught you.
Desmond looks slightly over to Lanus and says, "Yes, I would imagine."
You can throw the scorn you like, Uncle.
I am not scornful. I'm just curious. And not only reading and writing, but what tale you have written here, Lucas? What tale indeed?
I know it was not my place, Lord. It just seemed like something that I'm very sorry. I won't
Desmond
follow anyone again.
will lean forward,
But I must move
he-
forward instinctually, defensively.
menacingly as menacingly as he can muster, which is quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Shrieks.
And his almost move forward
Yes,
defensively.
and he will say, "Is this true, Lucas? What you write in this letter?"
Yes, my lord. Everything's as I saw it, as I heard it. I haven't made anything up. I know it's not my place.
Do
Just next
you
to Linus.
swear it that this is true upon all the gods and your very soul?
Yes, my lord.
You wouldn't lie to me now, would you?
No.
Decim, I'll do all of Decim's like awareness is going towards him to try to suss out if he is lying or not on this.
Straight ones.
Derp! He's lying. Throw him off the walls.
Linus isn't even doing an empathy check. He doesn't think he's lying.
He seems to be very, very scared right now, and he doesn't seem to be changed. Like he's completely speaking his mind. He probably doesn't even think about what he's saying right now. He's just imagining what grisly things await him for his snooping.
Decim will nod slowly, and he will lean back in his chair.
Are you happy now?
No, I am furious. He looks to Lucas, but not at you, Lucas.
I never do it again.
Kind of puts a hand on his shoulder.
Decim's, a slight smile touches his lips as he says, "Oh no, au contraire, Lucas. You have done very well for the house. Thank you. This is very important things you have brought me, and I am very thankful. You have done a great job, and I would prefer if you keep this up for us."
He just sort of murmurs, like that he's sorry, but he can't really make the words happen. And he sort of, as his legs are beginning to shake.
He kind of sees that. Will kind of come around a bit. Actually, draw back the chair slightly and just gesture.
Oh,
Wow.
sitting down at the council.
He
You-
looks
you
at
could-
you sort of aghast, taken aback, as this might be a test or something.
Poor Lucas.
You know? You know? You know? He can read Lanus' face if he wants to. He knows Lanus isn't very good at lying.
Right now, he can't.
Too afraid.
Decim will pick up the note. He will, pocket it again, and say to Lucas, "As I said, we have done well, and I'm looking forward to more of your sharp eyes and fierce loyalty to the house."
Looks at his feet. Sort of,
Look at me. Kind of puts a hand on his shoulder again. Look at me.